Hello everyone, myself Ashish Desai, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Department. Today we are going to discuss the design for manufacturing and assembly, part second. So first of all, we will look at the learning objective. So first learning objective is to know the importance of design for manufacturing and assembly. Second learning objective is to understand the principle of design for assembly. So after this session, some learning outcome is there. So first learning outcome is the student will be able to explain the importance of design for manufacturing and assembly. Second learning outcome is the student will be able to aware about designing the components. So in last lecture we have discussed the design for manufacturing. Now we discuss here the design for assembly. So here we covered the different points. So first point is the part count. Second point is the self-locating features. Then third point is the self-fastening features. Then we discuss regarding the design of reorientation. Then we discuss regarding the design for retrieval handling and insertion. Then we focus on top down and top up design assemblies. Then we focus on standard as a part, and then we discuss regarding the modular design, and after that we discuss here the design for base part, and last point is the regarding the design for symmetry. So this is related with a design for assembly. So first of all we look at for the minimizing the number of parts. So as we know that the simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So this is the formula for minimizing number of parts. So whenever we are reducing the number of parts, so lesser will be the assembly time. So that's why we have to improve the profit, as well as we have to improve the production rate. So this is the impact of minimizing the number of parts. So how to minimize it? So we will explain in next slide. So here the number of parts is there, that is 24 parts is in available with this component, and 8 different parts. So actually it contains 8 different parts, and it requires multiple manufacturing processes, and it requires a number of rotation for assembly purpose. So this is eliminated by redesign, that is by a standard method, that is 2 parts is available with us. So 24 parts and 2 parts is makes difference, right? So only 2 manufacturing processes required and 1 assembly step is required. So this is the difference between the existing and redesigned part. So for that purpose we have take number of probable actions regarding the parts, and then we have to reorientate this part, and then it manufacturing a multi multi-functioning part as also. So this is regarding the reducing the total number of parts. So next is the self-locating features. So this is the diagram indicates there are two parts. So first part is at its top side and bottom side, which is joining by the screwing method. So it requires orientation for this screwing, but after this uh, analyzing this methodology, we can adopt the self-locating features. Means what? So you have dividing the two parts, and we have to forming a edge like this, and it can be automatically fitted with each other. So here also the pin arrangement is there. We can directly insert over here. So that is self-aligning. It is not required in a tilting manner. So this is the requirement of self-locating. So that is why simpling the simulation of the assembly part is there. So here there are two parts is there. So if it is like this part is there, then self alignment is difficult. But if it is having some taper shape is there, so it can align properly. So this type of arrangement we have to consider in the design of assembly. The next the that is emphasis of top of design. So top of design means uh, smaller parts will be at the upper side, because we are actually from gravity frictional force, it the when you're applying the insertion of these parts, then it automatically goes down. So here in this figure, the smaller part is at this bottom of the side, and bigger part is at the upper side. So this will be called as a top down design, but it is difficult because if it is number of parts available on this geometry, so if it is handling time is required more. So that's why we have to keeping the harder part, or you can say maximum part on the bottom of the side, and only small parts we can take of the on the top of the sides. So this is the main assembly. Here we picturize over here. So this is engine, design engine. So here smallest part is we are inserting from top of the side, and the bigger part is at the bottom of the side. So that is called as top of design. Most of the industries prefer this top of design. The next part we are discuss here, that is develop the modular design. So modular design means we have to organizing the sub assemblies, or you can say different parts we are divided over here, and then we are integrating for configuration. So this is requirement for the customer made. So this is the figure you mentioned here. So this figure indicates that the furniture design. So here we can use this sofa cum bed, right? So that type of arrangement we can done here. So this is regarding with design for model design. So this will help for the inspection. While inspecting the modular design, it should be help. Then testing purpose, it will be help. Then maintenance purpose, if it will also help, because whenever the maintenance part is there, we can easily assemble and disassemble. So this is the good impact of for design for assembly. So while studying the design for assembly, uh, also we consider the that use of standard parts, because if it is a standard part we implemented here, then it will help for ordering to easy to supplier. Second major impact is the if it is measure of the part is similar, then uh, the supplier will be keeping the cost down. So this is also one benefited for us. Then next, it is safety and quality testing, which is easier because n number of parts will be same parts will be there. Then we not required testing of each part. So this is also a help for the design for assembly. The next we have discussed here already, that is it is less expensive if it is we are purchasing the standard parts, as well as it should be reduces the lead time for inventory purpose also. So this is related with use of standard parts. Next part is design a part to multifunctional. So whenever we are designing the no, new component, so at that time we are fixing another feature. So this is the figure which indicates the pen with pen drive. So pen is here and pen drive is on other side. So this is multifunctional. So we can make a multifunctional components for the feature for the use of customer. The next part is the design for part for multi-use. So some features is available with us, so that part we can use for in a number of applications. So this is nothing but design part of multi-use. So here it can help for the identify the suitable content in a manufacturing firms. So so this helps to inventory control, because suppose same part will be there, and if it is available in with our shop floor, or can say in that shop floor management, so we can easily assess this for multi-purpose uses for product. So this is regarding the design for part of multi-use. The next, design for easy of fabrications. So sometimes we are available with number of operations on that component. So we have to optimum the combinations of uh, manufacturing processes. So we can eliminate the, if it is not required the part is there, so we can eliminate directly, and fulfillment of your customer based product. So that is why we can consider here the final operations such as painting, polishing, finishing, machining, etc. should be avoided as far as possible. So that's why we have to more focusing on tolerances, surface finishes easily. So that will be help to reduction in the production cost and improve the quality of the product. The next is the important part, that is we are considered in a design for assembly, that is avoid a separate fasteners. So here the on the right left hand side, the figure indicates the two matting part is there. So this is first part, and second part we have to joining by these two screws easily. But in second figure we have to eliminate this screw, and only you have to provide a slot on that sides, and then we can attach directly over here. So this is the method to avoid the fasteners. So such type of assembly is available, then and then only the it is easier to assemble for the operator as well as the manufacturer, and then uh, the lesser will be the cycle time, and it should be help to the increasing the cost of profit. Okay, the next part we have discussed here, that is minimizing the assembly directions. So maximum industries allowable only for one direction, which is one the parallel to the gravitational direction, gravitational direction. So this is help to doubt, that is called as top up design. So this is the here there are, we can join the components in 2 to 3 directions. So it is require more time if you implement in a one direction, so that will help to minimizing the cycle time. So this is the impact by the minimizing the assembly direction. So this is this also points we are covered in a design for assembly. The next, uh, whenever we design the parts, we consider here size. So if it is less size, so it is not picking for uh, picking for further procedure. So we are taking this part, this is important part. Then thickness, so if it is less thick is there, so that time when some action of assembling part will be there, so that should be hammer. Then weight, so if it is more weight is there, so it is not feasible to assemble the parts. The next, fragility, so if it is some glass material is there, so that should be happening for uh, that fragile moment. Then flexibility, we can flexible easily, so that type of material we can use at the complexity of surfaces. Then sliperiness, so sliperiness means it can be slipping when you picking the part, then it can be slipping because of this ground, that surface. Then stickiness, so some part will be sticking with some components directly, that is so this is regarding the handling of difficulty. Now next part we are discuss here, that is the guidelines for design for manufacturing assembly. So here first part is the minimizing number of parts, second is the feature lesser assembly moments. Then third part is the provide self-aligning features. Then fourth is eliminate the visual obstruction to the assembly. Then next part is the reduce the number of tools required. And next and last part is the use symmetrical parts. So these are the guidelines provided by uh, the standard, that is designed for assembly. So first is the lesser assembly moments. So whenever we have to go for top-down approaches, so that time the same rotations will be there. So that should be reduces the cycle time, or you can say reduces the assembling time for the component. So this is the figure. We can attach directly according to the top-down design approach. The next is the provide a self-aligning features. So some part will be when you attach to the some parts, matting parts, so that should be hanging up, or you can say it should be falls on the place. So whenever we have to give the moment of that is self-align, so can be easily place it. So likewise this placing will be takes place will be there. So that is the approach of self-aligning and locating parts. So this regarding the design for assembly. Also we have to eliminate the visual obstructions. So some part will be in a inside the manner, so you can designer will be give the that approach will be we have to save the parts, but sometimes the when your operator is there, so it does not visualize for the sides, so we can directly implement on the outsides. So this is to this. Okay, now next is a reduce the number of tools required. So according to the uh, assembly purpose, we can require number of parts. So for that purpose we have to reduce the number of parts, so automatically we can reduce the number of tools required over there. So this is the benefit of symmetric parts. Suppose this is first example. So here number of parts is there, right? And here we have to modify this part as per the requirement of symmetry, and this is the benefited. So here less time required for the assembly purpose, but here we require more time, and here number of parts is more, that's why number of manufacturing process is also more, and that's maybe increasing the cost also. But here the less assembling time, less parts, so therefore less manufacturing processes, so therefore less cost will be there. So this is the advantages of symmetric parts. Now the we have to have same parts about regarding the DMF and DFA. That is, DMF means design for manufacturing, and next point is the design for assembly. So it can be help for the part reducing the part count, also reducing the cost. It leads to the less time as well as less expensive. And then next advantage is the it can increase its reliability, so it can perform a specific task with the specific conditions. Then next it increases the quality and less opportunity for errors. So this is the advantages point regarding the DMF and DFA. Now next point is the principles regarding the design for manufacturing and assembly. So after this first section of DMFA and second section of DMFA, we have concluding the some principles regarding the design for manufacturing and assembly. So first part is it minimizing number of parts. uh, so it helps to reducing the cycle time as well as reducing the assembling time also. The next part is minimizing number of fasteners. So if you remove the number of partner fasteners, that will help to cost cutting manner. Then next part is the standardize. So we can use standardized part, so that's also help to so that will help also. We have to majorly impacted on the um, assembly purpose. Next part is avoid difficulty components. So that also help. The next use modular sub assemblies. So whenever the number of sections were divided, so we can easily inspect as well as you can easily assemble over there. The next part is use of multi-functional parts. So sometimes we can use same part for 2 or 3 usages, so likewise you can also implement in that case. The next, minimize the reorientation. So whenever the number of orientations is there for assembly purpose, that it requires more time. So if you minimize into 1 or 2 axis assembly purpose, so that will help to improving the assembling time. The next, use of self-locating features. So then two mating parts is there, so you can easily mating, and that's why it is helpful to manufacturing also. The next, provide accessibility, we can move easily one session to another session. The next part is minimizing the operation and process types. So these are the benefiting for the DMFA, and this is the principles of DMFA. Now we have discussed some case studies here or here. So first case study is, so in figure first there are requirement of 3 parts is there, and it requires the screwdriver, right? And then only it should be carefully handled, that alignment is there. So it should be time consuming. But here we can replace by this screw by rivet, and but it requires a rivet gun. So this is the next requirement. So after that we redesign redesign or and rethinking over here, and we can implement 2 parts but integrating the fasteners also. So it requires the head assemblies, and these 3 parts will be required over here. So this is also complicated. The next part is the requires press fit only, we can directly place it, but it will be chances to fail of this part. So then next we have to analyzing this concept, and then we can go for this part. That is, 2 parts will be available with us, only we can press it, and we can self aligning this component will be there. So that's why it should be helpful to that improving the designs, or as you can say improving the assembly purpose. So this is the advantage of DMFA. So you can reduce the number of parts, as well as you can applying the reorientation, or you can say you can applying the self aligning orientations, or self fastening method is there. So this will helps to assembling time is here requires to 20 seconds, but now it should be required 8.82 seconds. So that much benefit is there for design for manufacturing assembly. In next case study, we can observe here. So here three legs is there and one top surface is there. That is requirement, that is four part. Second supporting member is there. So these three and these three, six, and this top of surface, those seven parts is required for conventional design. So after we are implementing the DMFA, so it can reduces up to three parts only. So only this one part, then middle one part is there, and then the supporting part will be there. So this is the greater impact for the DMFA. The next case study is there. So so here the stapler is there. So original stapler is having up to 81 parts, and it required the 40 to 50 seconds for assembling purpose. But nowadays what will happen, we can reduce the number of parts, as well as we can use the different techniques of DMFA and DFA. So that time we have reduces up to 40%. So only 40% part is required for these staplers. So that much integrated parts we can use here for the assembly purpose. So this is better impact of DMFA. The next case study is there. So here headlight trim screw is there. So here requires up to five parts. The first part is insert, second part is the rubber washer, then stock star locker washer, then screw is in there, knob is there. So up to five part is required there. But after the analysis of design for assembly and design for manufacturing, we convert into up to two or three parts. So this is the better impact of the DMFA. Thank you.